Good morning, people. Good morning. So tomorrow is the Sheffield United game, and it's a chance for us to change things up a bit against one of the worst teams in the league. No disrespect to them, but on form, that is what it is. This is one of the games that if you're going to make changes, to make them changes. So we need to go and approach it that way. Rest players that need resting. There's some players I've got playing that probably should be resting, but you can always take them off at some point in the game anyway, so that's how I'm going with it in some players. So my lineup, I would go with a 4-2-3-1 because that's a system that we're used to. I would go with De Gea in goal. Now you could arguably play one defensive midfielder in this sort of game, but I know that we're capable of messing this up against teams that we should be clear out front of, but I know that we'll make it difficult, so we're going to have to go with the two defensive midfielders, and that's how it is. So David De Gea in goal for me. You could arguably play Henderson. I wouldn't be mad at that, but I would go with De Gea. Aaron Wan-Bissaka at right back. I would drop Lindelof. If I had my choice, I would go with Tuanzebe and Lindelof, but Maguire's the captain. He's not going to drop Maguire, so I would go with Tuanzebe and Maguire at the centre-back. I'd have Luke Shaw left back. You could arguably play Telles, but because Luke Shaw's just come back from an injury, he needs to get that fitness back a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Get that match fitness back up a tiny bit more. So I would go with Shaw, and then I'd have Donny van de Beek in the defensive midfield role because he's capable of playing there. He's versatile enough, and he's got the skill set to do so. So I would play Donny next to Matic in the two defensive midfield roles. He will be the more mobile of the two defensive midfielders, and Matic can hold fort. So then I would have Juan Mata on the right, Bruno in the middle, and Martial on the left. Now, a lot of people are saying to play Donny in a number 10 where Bruno plays. I wouldn't be mad at that, but you can always put Donny there for Bruno if you need to take Bruno off at some point. So, or you could bring someone like Greenwood or Rashford on and put Mata into the middle role and put Rashford or Greenwood on the right. So you can always change it up that way as well, which is what I would do. So this way you can have Van de Beek and Bruno playing together for even if it's for half a game or whatever. That's what I would go with. So I'd have Mata on the right, Bruno in the middle, Martial on the left, and then I'd have Cavani up top. Cavani is obviously, he's been injured for a few games. He's been training and this whether he's going to be fit enough. I think he will, so I would go with Cavani up top. For the bench, I would have Henderson, Telles, Mensah, McTominay, Fred, Greenwood and Rashford. I'm not sure if Lingard's even fit. You could arguably put Lingard in there for his energy, but I'm happy with my bench. I'd be tempted to even bring Mensah on for Aaron Wan-Bissaka at some point as well, because Aaron's been playing a hell of a lot of football as well. So I would go with Mensah on the bench and bring him on for Aaron Wan-Bissaka at some point, just to give him a bit of game time and give Wan-Bissaka a bit of a rest. So this is a game that, as I said, these are one of the teams that we should wholeheartedly be beating, even if we don't put out a fully strengthened lineup. But we've made, these sort of teams have made huge banana skins over the years for us when it's a joke, really, in the bigger scheme of things. I'm personally going for 1-0 to us. We should be scoring at 2 or 3 goals at minimum against teams like this. But I think they're going to shut up shop. They're going to sit back deep, and it's going to be hard for us to break it down. But I think Bruno, if he plays, will get the goal. But I don't think we're going to get more than 1 goal. We should be, but I think it's going to be one of them very close games in terms of not chances for them and looking like they're going to score, but shutting up shop and us struggling to break that down. And I think it might even be a late goal for us that wins it. So maybe it'd be a set piece and a header or something. So I think it's going to be one of them scrappy games. It's going to be like a away to Stoke, sort of one of them sort of vibes. I think we've got enough to get it done. I think we will win, but I think we're going to make a real big deal of it and a big meal of it when it shouldn't be. So I'm going 1-0. Should be winning by at least 2 or 3 goals at minimum. But this is a chance to make a lot of changes. I wouldn't be mad if you rest Bruno and play Donny at number 10. But for me, you can't have people like McTominay starting. He played well in the last game, but he's not good enough. So if you're going to play Donny in a number 10 role, I would go with Fred and Matic and have McTominay come off the bench if you need to. I would possibly put Telles in for sure, or even put Telles for Martial and play him higher up as a left winger. So that's what I would go with, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Tomorrow's game, Sheffield. Sunday we've got Leeds as well, so I'll be back for the Leeds game after this as well. I'm looking forward to the Leeds game a lot. This one tomorrow I think is going to be a bit of a boring game, to be honest. So hopefully it'll end up being good and better than we expect. But 1-0 win for us I'm going for. If we lose tomorrow or get a draw, it just sums up where we are as a club. But I wouldn't be surprised, that's the big thing, and it's a joke. So we've got to win tomorrow. I think we will, but I think it's going to be... We're going to create our own obstacles and hurdles, in my opinion. So hopefully it goes well, and we'll be back tomorrow, guys.